performance consultant and entrepreneurship coach. He is the CEO of JFK Abiona Consultants Limited, committed in helping individuals and corporate bodies to locate their core competence by giving career empirical information as a bridge to the next level. He is an endowed transformational speaker, writer, resource person, and change agent with a strong passion and vision for the relentless pursuit of excellence, knowledge, and core values needed to positively influence our people and organizations for growth. He is an articulate, disciplined, multi-talented, focused, and dynamic young man with a robust experience. His charismatic calling, which is a catalyst for reformation and transformation. His vision for change has helped prospective retirees to plan ahead of their post-retirement years, as well as inspire young school leavers to create jobs and those with existing businesses to move to the next level. On the 3rd of June 2013, JFK signed an MOU with NYSC to coach all core members in the country on entrepreneurship. Other clients include United Nations Staff Association, Julius Berger, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, Smithon, Transcorp Hilton, to mention but a few. He is married for 21 years and blessed with 5 children, and they all live in Abuja. People of God, join me as I make welcome Pastor James Fulusho Kayode Abione.
Rise up for a gateway welcome. This is our own JFK.
Hallelujah. Amen. I have to stop bringing my iPad up because I just won't need it. Sorry if that disturbs somebody's theology. At least there are over 500 scriptures on this head that I can quote now. But definitely somebody said there is urgency. The King's message is urgent. Tell the person beside you, please be a CEO. For the sake of our generation, save this generation, create the job. Amen. Let's have our seats. A 4-hour course, I'm going to take in 30 minutes just as an intro. God's servant is giving us 3 days, 5 hours on a Friday, 9 hours on a Saturday, to start a journey that will last for 1 year. By this time next year, you will be a CEO. Yes, as much as you think it's a prayer, it's a science and technology. The Greek look for wisdom, and the Jews look for signs. But do you know the children that God has given unto me, they are for what? But why do we, you see, the signs and the wonders, the wisdom is needed and the wonders are needed too. It's not good to be a priest and you are not a king. Until we institutionalize entrepreneurship, we cannot become what God has destined us to be. Entrepreneurship is the unwritten ideology of Nigeria. Until we institutionalize it, the struggle continues. Now, media give me Hebrew chapter 5. Chapter 8 verse 5. Hebrew 8:5. 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 That's the foundation of this, because somebody will not be happy with me that, how can you be saying something like this in the church? It's because we are not aware of our inheritance. Jesus said in the book of Luke chapter 16 that the children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of the kingdom, who serve unto example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle, please stop reading the Bible with an analog approach. Read it with a digital approach. So let me read it in a digital way. Who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the business, to start the bakery, to start the hospital, the school. For see, says God, that you make all things according to what? To the pattern shewed thee on the mount. What God showed to you when you are going to start the business, make sure, give me Exodus chapter 25, verse 40. Exodus 25, 40. Exodus 25, 40. Exodus 25, 40. The last verse. And can we read this together? And look that you make them after their pattern, which was showed thee on the mount. Before I'm going to show us, it's a journey. Please go to the information desk after the service. I came to raise 1,000 CEOs in 365 days. I'm going to be on your face for 1 year. And because until the Niger Delta rises up and take charge, it will interest you that the oil we so much depend upon cannot drive this economy again. Only 5 companies delivered America from the hands of China. They are called Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. These companies, they don't have, they are idea-driven. There is no book called Facebook. Facebook is an idea. Psalm 19, I don't know how many Christians God has showed Apple that we kept going to church and they had to go and give somebody who is not born again. Because the children of this world are wiser than their generation and the children of the kingdom. We met Aliko Dangote, we said, what is your secret? He said, please, my secret is not all the monies I have. My secret is this glass in front of my table that says all things are possible. And a son of a bondwoman believed that all things are possible. Rice became possible. Salt became possible. Cement became possible. Noodles became possible. About 17 companies became possible. And he leveraged on this, on what belongs to you. He took it and it worked for him. You know why? Whosoever that calleth the name of the Lord shall be saved. The principles of God are universal. He's sovereign. Now, I want to show us 17 things if you want to build according to the pattern. Companies are not supposed to die after the owner. Companies are supposed to be bigger and better when the owner have gone. A lady met me when I was pastoring and said, James, look at me. Look at my front. Look at my back. Am I not beautiful enough? I'm 40 years. No man is asking me out. No man. He's telling me he wants to marry me. I am tired. He's an allergic. Allergic is asking me out. I'm going to be the third wife. He wants to buy me a car. I said, wait, before you do that. I said, I don't know the names of the children or the wife of Mr. Toyota. I don't know the names of the children of Mr. Toyota. His biological children. But I know the name of his brain children. I know Toyota Lexus. I know Toyota Camry. I know Toyota Corolla. I know Toyota Land Cruiser. I know Toyota 4Runner. I said, I don't know the names of the children or the wife of Mr. Honda. But I know Honda Accord. I know the name of his brain children. These people, the oldest company in the world is called Guinness. You may not like me to mention something like that. It was founded 263 years ago. 1776 in Dublin. T.M. Lewin, you are not a rich man because you have $1 billion now. You are only a rich man when you have 10 billion when you have died. A rich man, so I want us to show, he said, build according to, why does company fail? And we are shy, we are so religious, we don't want to talk about why company failed. I have an auntie who has a school. The school was founded in 1956, the oldest school in my hometown, Abeokuta. My auntie died and left the school for his son. He died just about 12 years ago now. A school that can accommodate about 3,000 children. They have barely 100 children there. Weeds have grown. The school roof have been removed. The school, I cried when last I went to that school. Why? Is because success without succession is failure. When you build an empire and your children, you trust your children to continue. Who told you? Brain children can preserve posterity more than biological children. I want to show you this morning, church. If we fail to show a message like this in church, our business will keep dying. We will keep singing, standing on the promises, while sitting in the premises, and the sons of the bondwomen will continue to take our place in the marketplace. I was speaking in a church like this, and a woman called me, says, young man, come here. I work with the CBN. CBN has over 3 trillion money of all the banks, of the churches. I won't mention the name of the church. A particular church, all of you know, the church has kept over 50 billion for the past 15 years. I do money. School money, university money, tithe and offering. I've seen an evil under the sun. The sons of the bondwomen, the slaves are riding on horseback, and the princes are walking on the floor. And we say it's okay. And one of them became a CBN governor, took this money, started a bank, which they will need to take your business if you're a Christian and become the owner of the business. Without, because they will give you 0 interest. A lot of my friends have eaten the red pottage in Abuja. I say, I won't eat this red pottage. You borrow me money without collateral, and you now say, oh, no, interest free. And you now come back to tell me that you are going to collect 51% of my share capital. Who is the owner of the company now? You've taken over. It's an evangelism has left tracts. Taking tracts from house to house. Let us stop that analog Christianity. Let's come to digital. Let us understand what makes companies thrive. What makes companies. So there are 17 pillars. Someone say 17 pillars. Where's my timer? Media help me. I want my timer here. There are 17 pillars a business stands upon. According to the scripture I've showed you, Exodus 25:40 and Hebrews chapter 8 verse 5. Why? It's because I noticed a friend of mine called me, a member of my church. In fact, the second richest guy in my church. We have 15,000 in my church. The second richest guy that I can rate, at least in a year, it turns over about 7 billion. He's one of the leading media houses in Abuja. He called me and said, James, I pay over salary for about 100 people. Please, I want to contest for the governorship of Kogi in November. Help me to come and coach all my staff, because I am afraid I am the only scorer in this organization. I'm the one who brings 99.9 money. January alone, MTN will drop 1.2 billion for me for all their billboards. I'm afraid. If I step out to Kogi, I've invested 3.5 billion in Kogi now for farming. I just collected. When he was telling me these things, anytime I visit him in his organization, I thought everything was okay. Until I came to diagnose. Tell the person beside you, please diagnose before you prescribe. And I enter because this guy is given to excellence. Neat guy. If you see his reception, if you see his company, my time are beautiful. As I came in the first time, he said, James, look well. Something is wrong. I said, I know. Say, have you seen it? He said, just wait. And I began to interview all the staff. The HR does not even know what is called the mission statement of the organization. They don't. When I ask for their corporate profile, I want to show you today why Halifax and Savings Limited failed. Why Transmission Candle failed. Wonder Loaf, Concord Airline, Albaka Airline, Sosoluso Airline. Have you heard it before? Can I tell you Odutola Tires? Why no one company in Nigeria is 100 years old? Whether you are selling in kiosk or you have an oil company, just listen to me now. In Abuja, where we have over 6,000 organizations, only 1.2% has this document that is functional. It's so bad. I had to discover this, and I'm the only voice in this. People spend so much money, immediately the hitman, the real CEO, step aside. I started this work. By midway, this guy, he cannot afford to go for the governorship. As I'm talking now, he's in between. He stays or he loses the business. Because I told him, I gave him a recommendation. You have been raising, you are an army general who have slaves as warrior, not warriors. When you go to battle with slaves, who have watched the film 300 before? Spartans. If you raise slaves as warriors, when they get to the battle, what will happen? God had to tell Gideon, I can't go with this 32,000. Please screen them. So, if you want a business that will outlive you, the first thing you have to write, you must write your corporate governance policy. And the number one thing on the corporate governance policy is called, I will pick a very good example. Let's say this church now, I don't know whether they have or not. Let's say Gateway International School. Very good. They have, I want to now write a corporate governance policy for them. I'll do it in 17 minutes. Watch me. The first thing on that note is called general introduction. Write it down. Those of you who is wise that you have your paper and your just write, because this is what I charge $1 million for this document. Minimum. I charge sometimes $5 million for this document. KPIG can't come near me when I write corporate governance. There are only 2 companies in the world that I compete with. There is no company in Nigeria that can near me when I come. I decide, you know why? The Bible says, at the end of the age, knowledge shall cover the heart as water cover the sea. I have messed up a lot of consultant work by coming on a Sunday morning and tell the church the secret of corporate governance policy. There is no consultant that will like me for this. Because why? It's time for the church to become CEO. Someone say, I am a CEO. It's time. The first thing is general introduction. General introduction of Gateway International School. What's general introduction? General introduction is very small, like just about 200 words. Just go, you are one click away, any information you need on the internet. Just type origin of schools. When you are talking about general introduction of a school, just look back. What kind of education did Great Britain give us? How did education enter Nigeria? The general introduction is a little document that you just refer to how school started. And then we kind of school, the Montessori, the kind of schools, but you have to identify a gap that in this general introduction, Great Britain only gave us 2 out of 3 education. There are 3 types of education: academic education, professional education, and professional education and financial education. But unfortunately, they gave us only academic and professional education. They withdrew financial education, and that is why financial intelligence remains the unfair advantage of the rich over the poor. In this general introduction, you are supposed to just show the gap for the person reading it, because your corporate governance policy is an open document that people will read and know what to stand for. That's the definition. Write that down. Corporate governance policy, it's an outward. It's a document that represents the operational manual, that represents the DNA, what your organization stands for. Simple English. It's very, very easy to make things difficult, but it's difficult to make complex things simple. What I have done, sitting down, instead of doing payer contract in Abuja, sitting down, I have made complex things simple. General introduction is when you introduce you just do it in such a way that everything you are writing is introducing your company as what to stand for. That general introduction is when you tell them that you are standing as a school to correct this anomaly, because schools are where children are made like objects, which subject is placed on them. And Gateway International School have decided to move out of this mindset and raise children which are going to be job creators instead of job seekers. Then you go to the next one. This next one, after you have talked about general introduction, you now say introducing Gateway International School. The second pillar is called introducing. The one is general. Now you come to your school now. Gateway, now in number 2, called introducing in capital letters, Gateway International School. You will now write, Gateway International School is a 21st century school that will raise children that will be job creators and not job seekers. It's a school whereby children will be exposed to what we call entrepreneurship development. As we have other things called extracurricular activities, the Entrepreneurship Learning Center shall be the umbrella whereby our children will come to the center and have an entrepreneurship experience, so that when they go to the classroom, they will see the business side of physics, chemistry, biology, and every other subject. The general introduction is a center of what your school stands for. Not plenty English, but correct explanation of your standing. Number 3, you will now come to our core values. Our core values, you just mention one word. Number 1, excellence in capital letters. Under excellence, you will now write Very simple word in one line. Excellence is the minimum requirement in the school of success. That is why Gateway International School has embraced excellence. Number B, 2, teamwork. Team for together. E for everybody. A for achieve. M for more. Together, everybody achieves more. When we get to, you see, when we get to the, don't clap. Leave clapping. I have 11 minutes more. I will finish the 17 chapters. Now, watch it at, we'll mention the core, just mention about 5 things. Excellence, teamwork, love, hard work. Just one word. Benevolence, innovation. One word and explain it. And then when you finish there, you now go to mission statement. Mission statement is when you talk about, in fact, start from vision statement. Vision statement is where you are going. Mission statement is how you will get there. So the third one is called, number 1 is what? Second 2 is what? 3 is what? Number 4 now is when you mention that vision statement. Vision statement is where you are going. Vision statement, I can just say vision statement. Gateway International School is a school raising job creators, simple, instead of job seekers. Then mission, a school whereby children are exposed to entrepreneurship development assignment so that the business side of every subject is seen through all our exercise without interrupting with the Ministry of Education. That is your mission. Mission is how you will get there. Vision is where you are going. Number 5, number 6. Where are we now? I got to run. Number 6. General introduction, introducing Gateway, core values, vision statement, mission statement. How many is that? Number 6 now. Number 6 is when you now say our aims and objectives. You can make this one like 20 points. Number 1, to create CEOs. Number 2, to create a set of teachers who will be a role model to the children. Number 3, to empower parents so that they will stop selling their children, go to school, get a degree, get a job. They can start telling them, go to school, read a tomorrow course, and create a job. Number 4, to create a school whereby it will not disturb the ministry's syllabuses, but will rather bring our children to understanding of entrepreneurship so that they can rise up to save life by creating jobs. Number 7, to raise a generation of children who will become a role model to the nation. Number 8, to create an atmosphere of mentorship for our Federal Ministry of Education so that educational derelicts will stop managing educational affairs in the ministry. I will give you 50 on this. Then you go to the next one. The next one is when we now talk about meet our CEO. You pick the picture. If it's Mommy Emanuela, who is the CEO, you are picture, not the picture when she's holding the microphone in church. She will go to Studio 24, pose, and then you put the picture there. You get a graphic artist to arrange these things, and then when she posts in Studio 24, our profile. She's a lawyer. She read this, that. Just our profile in short, like 250 words. A profile. Then you go to the next one. Meet our team. The team represent the HOD, the headmasters. Take them as a whole, and then write about them in brief. The next one, I've lost the count. Let me just continue now. If I keep numbering, I will not meet up the time. The next thing you do, after you have done with meet our team, you now say meet our board of directors. Who are the board of directors? Who are the people that are directing their affairs? You get their pictures, not a picture of, not passport photograph. You take their picture, 21st century picture, beautiful pictures. No matter how old your BOD, take their pictures and then write brief about them. The next one is our company location, our school location. You now say, oh, just a little brief. Education in the South. It's been business as usual. We will have gone to Lagos or we'll have gone to West, but we are South people. Therefore, our company, our school is located in South. get your graphic artist will use this GPS map to say company location and do a beautiful graph showing your street where you are and write the address there. Then you go to the next one. Our school affiliations, Gateway International School affiliations. You write the name of schools, about 5 solid schools. Charles Dale, Allel College, beautiful schools that are like you. Who are your friends? Show me your friend. I'll tell you who you are. You quote them with put their logo there. These are our people that relate with us. Now, when you do that, you also go to the next one. You now go to your personal, your personal. How do you call this one now? The people, the individuals who are related to you, who patronizes you, the personalities who you are related, your personal affiliations. That's the word. The first one are your corporate affiliations, schools. Now, personal affiliation, there are some people, ex-ministers, people with good name, good reputation, who are parents. You show their picture there, about 5 or 6 of them, with their consent, collect their picture and put there. The next thing you do, after that one is our organogram. Show your organogram. The organogram of your school. If God can, go and check Leviticus. Go and check Exodus. Go and check when Noah was building the ark. All the sizes, every measurement was given. What is wrong with us in church? We are shy to talk about how to succeed in business, to give the same instruction God gave to Moses when he was building the tabernacle, and we will not come to church and talk about the things we need to sort things out. Show the organogram. BOD. Next one. Then, the CEO. Show the organogram. The next thing you do, after you show the organogram, which is who can capture how many figures, how many numbers now? Where are we now? 13. Are we 14? Whether 14 or 13, just let's move on. When you have done that, the next thing you do is our product and services. You will now offer, we do Montessori, we do what kind of education we are doing, we write it there, explain what it is. The next one